we've had a couple of chats before this, and you have kind of laid out some of the dozens of engagement signals, scroll stops, active tabs, dwell time, referral sort, to isolate high-performing placements. What are the most underrated signals marketers should be paying attention to beyond standard, like viewability? Obvious. Click-through rate has, it's kind of right-sizing itself and how important it is and isn't.
For sure.
What are some things that marketers need to add to that short list?
Also, you ask such good questions. I love it.
It's easy when you have good guests.
I love it. You're very kind. So I will roll it back to what is engagement and why are these signals important, and then we can get into the signals themselves. But
love it.
If you're going to advertise as an advertiser and you get through all these pathways that we've talked about, that's just architecture. What you really are looking for is an audience that's actually paying attention to your message. Actually paying attention.
Yeah.
And let's face it, we're all not paying attention. Okay? We've all gotten to a place, right, where we all have attention deficit disorder at this point. We're scrolling at the speed of light. Our thumbs hurt.
Yes.
And so it's at a point where attention is at its lowest time. And it's going to get worse. And there's more ads and there's more ad density than ever before. So there's more ad density and there's less attention. So engagement and attention become very important currencies for advertisers and marketers because they need you to be paying attention. Otherwise, it's just, blowing in the wind. It doesn't matter, right? So on the Infolinks product, what we focused on was working directly with our publishers to put our ad units on the publishers. And that ad unit specifically provides intelligence for us to understand on the web publisher whether that audience, whether that user is actually engaged. We look at signals that tell us whether or not the user is present. So first and foremost, if they're not actually there and looking, why bother?
Oh my goodness.
Unlikely it's very attentive.
Right.
If the user's not scrolling, if the user hasn't moved the page in a period of time, if the user hasn't moved maybe a mouse in a period of time, if they're not on the active tab. I mean, if you have the same disorder I have 100 tabs on my browser. Okay?
That's my wife, but
100 tabs.
I at least have a couple dozen.
And that's the desktop. And then on my mobile device, it says I have 499 and it stopped calculating.
Yeah, that's
I haven't figured out where the close all is yet, but I know I have 499 tabs. If I'm, that's right, the mass look for the tab closer. So I can tell you that I look at, are you active or are you inactive tab? Simple things to know whether or not you're engaged. When we look at our mobile device, now maybe your listeners may not have thought about this, but when you look at your mobile device, have you ever noticed that when you read content, you look at the center of the screen, you don't look at the top third, you don't really look that closely at the bottom third, you look at the center of the screen. So as you're looking at the center of the screen, okay, and that's where your focus is, and every other area is in peripheral.
Yeah.
The center of the screen is where your core attention is. So we know if an ad is in the center of the screen and you're resting on it, you're looking at it. And that's a better place for attention than if the ad flew by at 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Maybe that was counted as viewable because it only has to be 1 second, according to our IAB, 1 second, and it's counted as viewable. But if it flew by that 1 second, did you really capture engagement and attention? Probably not. So one of the things Infolinks focuses on is putting our ad units, our unique placements on the publisher and measuring whether or not the activity and the engagement and the attention of the ads themselves warrant sending an ad request and ensuring that the advertiser buys it. So first and foremost, you as an advertiser, as a marketer, you want your ads to have engageable environments. And that's one of the things we focused on. And that's one of the reasons why we're distinct and why, as we put ourselves into the bid stream to sell our ad space, we think it's worthy of it being purchased, even though it's an extra hop.
Yeah.
Right, as an example. So those are some of the reasons engagement, attention, those types of signals, that they matter.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember we were talking, and this to me kind of smacks of the kind of sabermetrics movement in baseball, where if you look, maybe this person had a good or a bad or a fluky season, But are they hitting balls into the air? Are they pulling balls at a successful rate? Like there are a lot of signifiers to say that maybe this one season, this one game wasn't theirs, but all of the signals are pointing to the probability of this person being a great offensive player. I think, marketers get so hung up on wanting to know. It's about understanding.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. That's a great reference.
It's impossible to know every single thing, but you can understand where your probabilities are highest.
We're drowning in statistics. Drowning.
Yeah.
Right? We're measuring it with our steps. We're measuring it with our heart rate. We're measuring it with our viewability, with our click-through rate, with our attention rate, with our engagement rate. We're drowning in statistics, right? To your point, you want a probability that you have a high likelihood of somebody's attention, that your brand is being, resonated, and that you're going to get outcomes.
Yeah.
This is the whole point.